These kids all focus in on using Minecraft, a game where we have our own YTAC server, both Java and Bedrock, to come in and not just use it as a game and a place to build, and we use it for coding and things like that, but also use it as your PowerPoint presentation to present your idea for the future of what a medical university campus or hospital kind of system looks like in the future, particularly now that we're here post-COVID.
As you can see in front of here, we have the parking lot and roads, but the main focus is the entrance, and the entrance for disabled people have to use wheelchairs, people who can't walk. As we rotate around the building, you can see I have an emergency entrance for the emergency responders that need to get their patients into a room quickly. And let's go back to the front over here. And let's head inside. As you're inside, you can see you have the front lobby, front desk, where we have TVs, vending machines, and stuff that we can use, and people can just chill and wait for their appointment and stuff like that. As we go to the left here, we head back to the emergency entrance. You can see an emergency room where first responders, the ambulance, can come and take care of their patients that need urgent care. In this room, we have a storage area / shipment area where we store extra equipment and we get shipped from different places, like supplies. We also have an exit there. And let's head out. Now take a left and take another left here. We have the cafeteria where patients can get their food. The patients that have to stay in the hospital for a few days. We have a restroom, and restrooms like these basically represent that hospital should have a bunch of restrooms, but I don't have that much in here. I'm saying out here we have a parking lot for faculty, so they can get in the hospital and out of the hospital with no traffic from non-faculty. And here we have a morgue where we store the dead bodies, and that's basically what a morgue is. Go around and let's exit the morgue. Oh. Okay, here are the surgery rooms where patients get surgeries and basic procedures like that. Let me do this real quick. I forgot to make a way out. We have 4 or 5 of these down the hallway here, because we need more than one, obviously. These are the patient rooms where injured patients have to stay here for a couple of days stay. We have to heal and stuff. And over here, these are offices where they can have doctor's appointments, and the faculty could have all their paperwork and work here. Let's look around. Behind here we have about 5 offices. Last one being the CEO's office, basically the boss's office. Oh, and that looks like a normal office.
A+ for the build out, right? Like clearly that, I mean, when you construct in Minecraft like block by block, so the complexity of all of that, A+ for the build, the Minecraft effort there. Also give an A to an A-, maybe an A, because I saw things when we had Linda and Jason come speak to us about what is in there, like the morgue, for example, and the bodies that is something that is a practice in the university and something that has to be there. So I'll give about an A for there. I didn't necessarily see concepts about the future of a post-COVID world and what's going to come.
I noticed that in the operating rooms, there was natural light, which isn't something I've ever seen in the hospital.
So Razu Shrestha, I'm actually a physician by background. I'm the Chief Strategy and Transformation Officer for Atrium, and the proud father of 2 boys who love Minecraft. So, hey, I'd say, hey, look, 3 things: curiosity, creativity, and craft. Those things go hand in hand. And I saw a lot of that in the demo there. It was really good. I thought the details were amazing. I wanted to see a little bit more of the future elements as well. I think that could be great. And one of the aspirations that we have, and maybe this would come out in the team element of this, is sort of the collaboration that needs to happen with medical students and physicians and others really coming together in this learning space and bringing in some of the virtual components as well. I think that'd be really, really fun. But overall, great effort, and really enjoyed it.
Linda Dorton, Wake Forest School of Medicine, facilities design team for Charlotte. Super excited to be here and see these builds. Now, I think, in my opinion, he showcased true functionality of the spaces. There was good adjacency, right? So different functions were sort of close together. And then I really did enjoy seeing the open spaces and the natural light. There's something to be said for patient privacy, but that's obviously something at a different level that we can certainly work with. But I did enjoy the wide open spaces and bringing in some natural light. The thought about true and actual spaces that are needed to make a hospital work.
All right, thanks, Linda. I'm Jason Kaplan with Wake Forest, facilities design team for Charlotte as well. I want to say that was a great design, very thoughtful. I liked the multiple entrances to really separate the uses and functions and coming into the space. Thought that was a good thought of. Also thinking of ADA access, very, very, very helpful and very thoughtful to that population who has those needs. I liked the medieval motif. I thought it was a very kind of both future looking, but had that sense of history in the way it was designed. I got a sense of medieval kind of a feel in the space. It gave it some character.
Jason, is that what the medical world is looking for? A medieval vibe? Is that?
Well, I'm not sure if we're looking for that, but it was unique. It was something different. We may not want medieval, but it gets you out of a typical thought. Really, it gets you out of the maybe not so sterile, right? Something a little bit different that could appeal to some. And then he even had good storage use. He mentioned storage, which a lot of folks don't think about, but he brought up storage and things that help to support all these functions in the hospital. That is a critical need.
I thought it was absolutely fantastic. Just seeing it in Minecraft I don't think that's something I really thought about right now as a medical student, but just kind of seeing it was mind blowing. And to speak on like everything that's been said so far, I'm not an expert in medical design or anything like that. But just open spaces, I think, makes everyone feel better, whether you're a patient or you're a student or you're a doctor working in the hospital. It just gives everybody space to take like a nice, big, deep breath of air. And so the open spaces was really incredible, and the natural light. And if you look at a lot of the new hospitals being built now, you see all these really tall glass windows. And there's been a lot of research that's shown that natural light can have a really positive impact on the patients, but also the staff working there. So I think we're going to see a lot more buildings in the future, hospitals in the future, with more glass, more natural light, and things like that. So it's a really good job.
Hi, I'm Meghna. I'm a first-year medical student at Wake Forest. I thought it was incredible. I similarly, like Hisham, I don't really know much about Minecraft, but the fact that you were able to construct such an intricate structure is pretty phenomenal. And I really appreciated the small details. I think everybody has spoken so far about the lighting and the open space, which is great, but I love the little touches of like the little lamps and just even like the way the doors were organized. I feel like that sort of intentionality of just like making a hospital look nice has a lot of impact on how people are feeling. And as patients, as doctors, as students, it makes us feel like we're going to like a nice place to learn. So I thought that was really great.
Well, I'm just constantly impressed by the work that you guys do. My first impulse when you started, Kyle, to lead us through the presentation was, wow, we gave you a pretty daunting task to build this in Minecraft. As those of you who I've met before know, I don't have much of a background in this. And so I'm very impressed with your work and the detail to pull that together and the amount of effort is evident as you walk us through it. I also liked the way that you had windows looking into different rooms. I think you didn't touch on it in your narrative, but you could tell that it was a learning hospital where there was the ability for students to watch surgeries being performed and things like that, which I think is really important because learning and research are really going to be central to what we're building here in Charlotte. Just echo, what everyone else has said. It's really impressive. You've put a lot of work into it. I saw Razu, I think, will you take that corner office and I'll come and camp out in your couch area. That looks like a pretty good place to do some work because I'm pretty ready to get out of the house. So sign me up when this is up and running. But great job, Kyle.
So this is a learning hospital that would be found on a university campus. I made sure to include ramps for people who cannot use stairs, which I thought was like a really good feature if you're trying to access a hospital. This is the receptionist area. There's seats spread all around the place, which are also spaced out to help keep people safe from other sicknesses that could be spread. And there's a lot of hand sanitizing stations that are throughout the whole hospital. You can find at least one in each room, just to help keep the sicknesses away from everyone. This is the emergency room. Each space is spaced out with different dividers to give each patient some privacy. And there's also another desk for doctors and nurses to store other medical equipment or like files. And then over here is the elevator, brings you up to the next floor. And there's a little bench you can sit on if the doctor's taking a break, vending machine to grab a snack. We have a storage room. I figured that would be important. Got to store all the medical equipment. And then each of these rooms gives each patient privacy, while they also have the correct medical equipment for doctors and nurses to take care of each patient. So all these rooms give privacy to everyone. And of course, I included more hand sanitizer. And there's also an outside area on each floor, which I didn't show in the video, which you'll see it once you get a view of the outside area. So people can get a breath of fresh air. And I also included lots of parking spaces because I know that is a huge problem when you're trying to get to the hospital and you can never find a space when you're trying to get there quickly. And that is my build.
Emma, that looks amazing. Like immediately, as somebody who's more familiar with the game, and I'm sure maybe some of our students on the call, it jumps out to see the IV stand and the patient's bed and the computers and all those different things. It looks almost like you really would walk into a room and see those things. I think one of the judges asked in the chat if it was a mod or resource pack.
It is a mod I found.
But that's
and I wanted to make it feel just like you're walking in a hospital. That's why I chose to use that pack.
Yeah, loved it. This is really good. The generous sprinkling of hand sanitizers through and through. Big points for that. I thought that was really good.
Yeah, that was the first thing we've seen that I think is a nod to the future in a post-COVID world.
Absolutely. No, I saw that. That was really good too. I also saw monitors in some of the I don't know if it was an operating room or a procedure room. So that's good. I think we'll be leveraging a lot of virtual and So that was really good. The technology elements, were ramping up technology, bringing in artificial intelligence and virtual and more collaborative spaces around learning and healing. So I thought that was really good too. And the overall design and construct, very well thought through. Loved it.
Yeah, that was fantastic. I really liked the sleek design of the building when you're walking in from the courtyard. Um, it really felt like an architectural rendering to me almost, right? You're walking into a space, it's got furniture laid out. You can see all of the equipment. I love the crash carts in the hallway. That is fantastic ad. I'm told that by my 11-year-old daughter that mods are like a big thing to use in Minecraft. So I think you get extra points for that. The parking had signage, which is really quite cool. So I did see that for handicap parking and regular parking. And really the rooms, the patient rooms, they look just like what we have. Standardized patient assessment rooms, outpatient ambulatory clinic rooms. So this was a very realistic view of a hospital. So I appreciate that.
Yeah, thanks, Emma. I thought it was a mod pack as well. That's what I thought. That was what I was thinking. I like the design. It was a modern design, very symmetrical. I like a clean way to access and wayfind. I thought it was very easy to understand where you're going and where to go because, as you mentioned, the hospital can be very daunting, intimidating. So I think it was a very welcoming, inviting design. I like the attention to food. You mentioned vending as an option, as an amenity for the staff. Privacy was a big component as well. I liked each individual room. Would have been probably nice. I don't know if they weren't shown, but if there were windows in the rooms or not, just a note. But overall, looked great with the mod.
The mod is obviously thematically important for us to understand.
That's what I thought.
Totally agreed. What do the students here think? Hisham, to you.
I thought it was great. It really reminded me a little bit of the hospital we have here in Winston-Salem at Baptist Hospital. Like some of the patient rooms had like these tall glass windows, and some of our rooms in the hospital here have that. It's kind of familiar for me, and that was really nice. And speaking about the hand sanitizers, yeah, I mean, you can't walk 20 feet down the hospital and not see a hand sanitizer. And about like in terms of like remote monitoring. So I think that's going to be a big part of the future too. And one thing I was thinking about is that I think maybe some of these patient rooms might have video cameras in them or TV screens so that doctors can do video conferencing. I think that could be incorporated with kind of like this, the monitoring systems that Emma showed in the video. It really reminded me a lot about it felt familiar to me for like the design of hospitals that I've seen. And so I thought it was great. And parking is very true that you can show up any time of the day and parking will be completely full. So having lots of spaces is definitely very important.
Excellent point. And as we move to the next team-based phase, I think there is a nugget of thought that should be taken into account there, which is when we see the imminent COVID breakouts and things of the future, we need to future-proof these university campuses and things as much as possible and the hospitals. So even, to your point there, if we can have screens and a central production studio like we have for YTAC right now, where it's not like the doctor's working from home or the students are home, maybe they're in a safe, secure room inside it and they're able to be in other rooms without physically being there. Maybe there's something to tease out there for this next round. I think that's a very interesting point. And Megan, what do you think?
Yeah, I thought it was incredible. I pretty much echo everything everyone has said so far, and exactly what Hisham was saying. It does remind me a lot of the hospital that we frequent. And I thought you were really smart with how you made use of the space available in North Carolina, because not really in other places do you have enough room to make a huge parking lot and huge rooms like that. But if you can, that's pretty useful. So the fact that you leveraged the city that you're in to make something super functional, I think is really impressive. And I really like how spaced out the rooms are.
Awesome. Hillary?
Yeah, I thought one of the things that was really interesting to me was sort of the flexibility that I felt like you employed. So it seemed like the furniture was almost mobile. It wasn't super dense. And I think if we've learned anything in COVID, it's that we need to ensure that there is flexibility in the way that we approach space utilization, because things could change at any time and we need to be responsive. And I think that that's one of the big themes that will probably come out in real estate development across the industry, not just in medical and academic fields. So I thought that was really nice. I noticed it particularly in the emergency room, in the check-in area, and you could just see how that space could easily be converted into something else. I know at points of time in the pandemic, Atrium had to be really innovative in thinking about how would we create more beds, how would we create more space, and that spoke to me as a space where we could make shifts to be able to do that.
I want to point out that the red carpet in front of the seating is meant to section for social distancing purposes. That is an elevator for people obviously in wheelchairs that can't use stairs. Also realized that the video clip with the operating rooms never made it into the video, but they are there. All right, that's that.
How did you make the Atrium logo?
I looked at a picture of the logo and kind of did it freehand.
How long did that take?
5 minutes.
Oh, wow. Oh, okay. You should have been like 12 hours, Tark.
Gabrielle's was by far the most ambitious, and it accomplished that really well. In the design, you see the huge Atrium logo right up on the hospital. It looks very modern, and right when you walk into the lobby, there's a lot of design features that highlight COVID safety, or at least COVID safety, or that type of safety in a post-COVID world, and a lot of other natural kind of highlights. The massive skylight you see when you walk into the lobby and look up, all the different plants and trees. Well, the clarity was a little bit different just because of Zoom and just technical details, nothing relating to the quality of the presentation. I think it was definitely one of the things I immediately sent Tark, and we're like, wow, I mean, I can't believe that's Minecraft.
Well, what I saw in that open space, immediately drawn to it, obviously the logo outside and all that, but immediately drawn to the open space, because that was, Tarek, the atrium of the hospital, right? The open space where, the light is welcoming, but it's also open space that is collaborative. And the med students here and others know as well, atrium is that part of your heart that really then channels the blood to the rest of the system. So when you think about the hospital as an ecosystem, I really got drawn to that design element there. So overall, really, really good. Love the music too, as you were running us through your creation. And when I talked earlier about creativity, curiosity, and craft, I saw all three of those elements in high form. So really, really good work.
Well, so all the builds I have seen so far are just tremendous. And I personally don't think I could ever do any of this, but wow, this one was fantastic. It almost feels like you are walking through the space, right? You're just floating through the space. I like the large open seating areas with the big sky dome. I think that the social distancing aspect of it was really, really interesting and very cool. I like Pons mentioned the natural elements. So all the plants, we actually use plants in facilities design to soften spaces and bring calmness into the space and nature. So that was a really fantastic and keen sort of intuition, if you will, of this build. And I think I saw like a patient cue board maybe, or some sort of board that maybe was queuing up patients or displaying some information. I thought that was really kind of cool. So very neat.
Yeah, excellent work. Again, I will echo what Linda said and Rasu. I think I got like an earth and sky, earth motif going on, feel, which I think the natural elements came through, which I think is, again, comforting to the patient, to those who are coming in, or to the population coming in. I liked the privacy of the rooms. Again, that's kind of to the pandemic proofing of space. The light, the use of natural materials, I think was a good call and a good vibe for the space. It made you feel welcome, and it's just a great design.
Well, we got to go to what really matters. What do the customers think? What do the students think? Hisham, what do you think?
I think that Linda and Jason have their work cut out for them. They might need to see if they can bring this into real life. I was just blown away by everything that I saw. And I think, as Dr. Shrestha really pointed out, the Atrium being the name of the hospital, but then also like the centerpiece, I thought, of like welcoming patients. And I mean, I've been blown away by everything I've seen from all the participants, and my hat's off to everybody. It's just been really incredible seeing what everyone's been doing.
Yeah, no, I was really impressed by this one. This building has like a really commanding presence. As soon as you walk in, you know you're at an important place, but then when you go inside, it's also a comfortable place. So I really liked the balance of those two features. And I really love the plant element as well. Just more plants make people happier. So I thought that was a great addition.
I thought it was fantastic. I think that I don't need to echo the words that the experts have already shared, but I will say that, for me, one of my hopes is that we can draw more visibility to YTAC, and seeing what you've done. I mean, I'd love to plaster that all over everywhere I can plaster it, because I think it's just such a great example of how you can apply creativity and energy and hard work and the learning that you can get from your teammates and your coaches, and channel it into something that's really, really beautiful. And, I think, folks across Atrium and across Charlotte would be really proud to look at what you've created. So congratulations to you and to all three of you. I think what we're hoping to do with this new partnership and new ecosystem that we're bringing to Charlotte is create opportunities for smart thinkers like you all to bring those ideas to the community. And so great to see it, and very good job.
Well said, all of you. So I know that Ponce and Coach have been listening intently to everything that you have all said. There are, of course, 10 folks that we have finalized in the kind of round of the individual submissions that all made it. They're all part of this 5 versus 5 team that's going to move forward. So we just kind of selected these 3 to showcase in this individual round, but the big work is happening right now, underway, and over the next week or so, as they're building out all the things with the talent together and with the feedback they've just gotten. And now they've gotten a taste of what judging is like and what people are looking for. So I can't wait to see what that big final showdown is. But for now, Ponce, Coach, let me start with you of just your gut reactions, and then Ponce, close us out with who is first, second, and third place. Everyone's a winner, but YTAC follows the school of thought of Cobra Kai, which is we do give first place trophies out. So let me start with you, Coach.
Yeah, I love to see the presentations. The thing that you don't see, and you don't know this unless you kind of play Minecraft, building takes a long time. you have to have a strategy. You can't just show up and start building stuff and go with it. It's really, from a constructural standpoint, like you have to think about, what does that architectural plan look like? What do I want to build out and how is it going to look? Because if you do, you end up rebuilding and rebuilding. And that's one of the things that we focus on a lot is, hey, how do you build this to make sure it's the right way? So just a shout out to all of the contestants. Like, I know you guys put in a massive amount of time to build those buildings. And this, all the details, it's amazing that you're able to accomplish it. Honestly, such a short period. I mean, 3 weeks with the amount we've put you through from the coaching perspective and all the other stuff. It's been amazing, but I will leave it to the one and only. We have talked offline, Christian Ponce and I, about our verdict on who the winners are, but I'm going to let him announce it. So go ahead, Ponce, hit us with the announcements.
Thank you very much, Coach. And before I make the announcements, I would just want to thank everybody involved, especially Brady and Nate, who are members of our YTAC staff team. They made all of this technically possible. They worked with the students, and they really helped to make this competition what it was. And also saying thank you to everybody, all of our guest judges, all the leaders from Atrium, all the leaders from Wake Forest. It makes it so special to our students to have you guys involved, so special to receive your feedback. I remember when I was in the first cohort a year ago and Miss Crittenden came to speak with us. It's just a really special thing for the kids, so we greatly appreciate your time. Without further ado, third place, we have Kyle Grant, aka Fire Dragon. And in second place, we have Emma Bean, aka Emma. And in first place, we have Gabriella, who was the third submission.
Well done, everybody.
Congratulations, Gabriella.
Way to go. Coach, are you disappointed they spend so much time coding and building this stuff and not enough time with your Rocket League coaches practicing esports?
I mean, everybody has their thing, and so that's their thing they're passionate about. I wish everybody was a competitive esports athlete in every way, but sometimes, you end up in other places, and that's a good thing for this program. So I'm excited.
Indeed. So we are one event away from the Rocket League action of the night. We are now going to bid farewell to our Atrium and Wake Forest friends. Thank you guys so much for your time and your feedback. You just made the event. And if I might add, I thought this event was just going to be special from us seeing kids' innovations as they build things out. It was actually surprisingly special for me to hear not just the feedback, but like insights into a build out of one of the most exciting bits of news in Charlotte's modern day history of what the people building it think about what they're as they set to go. So it was actually a really surprising byproduct of all of this that I know our audience cherished. So with that, thank you all so much.